Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. My name is Kale. I'm incredibly influential.
And my name is Danny, and I'm highly successful.
Today is Sunday, the 16th of February, 2025, as we are recording this. Happy Valentine's Day. It's a little bit late, but happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. How are we doing? How is everybody? What did we all get up to?
Well, why don't you start, Kale? I can tell you a little bit about my thing after.
Well, for my Valentine's Day, I went and saw Captain America: Brave New World.
Ooh, nice.
And for your
Maybe.
Valentine's Day, you went and saw Captain America: Brave
Well,
New
I
World.
I technically went on Thursday.
It's close enough. It's close enough. It works.
But
It
I
works.
guess yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there is but did you do anything else this week besides just Captain America: Brave New World?
Nothing I really want to talk about.
Interesting.
Well,
Well, is there anything that you
we'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Super Bowl.
Well,
But
that was a I can't. Was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago at this point? I feel like
that was during the train ride back from the auto show last week was the Super Bowl, and I wasn't watching it, but I do have some information to share about it. Um,
interesting.
but we can circle back to that. We can circle back to that. So yes, I saw Birdman versus Big Head and Red Han Solo. How did you feel about it, Danny?
I haven't really watched an MCU Marvel movie since I can't even remember the last one I watched, really, because I
Did
didn't
you
watch
go see the
Marvels.
Marvels?
No, I didn't watch Marvels. I think I saw Marvels on like Disney Plus, and I was thinking about watching it, but I never did.
Makes
But
sense.
what was the one before Marvels? I think the one before Marvels was the last one I saw, and that was like
Ah, shit. Hang
so
on.
long ago at this point. I feel like.
MCU release
Uh, so
is
for me, like I've been very like out of it, like in terms of like I'm not really caught up in the loop as much.
um so
So like there are a few things that I kind of had to like catch up on and remember like while watching the movie. Like
mhm,
pretty much beforehand, I was talking to my brother about it because I went with him, and he was pretty much telling me that the only things you really need to know, or like the basic things you need to know, are obviously like Captain America stuff, the Hulk stuff. That's like the main two things. They do reference the show as
mhm.
well a little bit, and then there was like other references to movies. Like I think that there was a they had something from the Eternals in there, like right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, right.
the whole
S-
plot
But
is
like I didn't really
yeah.
remember. I only watched the Eternals once, and it was like a long time ago. So I was over here like I knew like everything looked familiar, but it was a little foggy, if that makes sense, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Uh,
despite
mhm.
all that, I watching the movie, I didn't think it was like bad. It wasn't like the best movie. It was just kind of like an all right superhero movie. At least in my opinion.
So uh the movie before the Marvels that you were talking about, that was Guardians Volume 3, and before that was Quantumania. So Phase
Mhm.
5 was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, then Guardians Volume 3. So the two complete opposite, ends of the spectrum versus, for like being bad and being good, right? I won't. I'm not going to insult you by telling you which one I think is bad and which one I think is good. You can fucking guess. Um.
Mhm.
And then in a similar vein, we had the Marvels and Deadpool and Wolverine. Um. And
Deadpool
then.
Wolverine feels it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie just because I feel like they still haven't really fully incorporated it into it. I think
Mhm.
they're trying to start to, right? Like a lot of the things they did in Deadpool and Wolverine, I think will help bring them into the universe more, but they're still not really a part of the universe yet.
That's true. Um. And then the last two movies in Phase 5 are obviously this one, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts, which comes out May 2nd. And then,
May 2nd, really? I thought it was gonna be a
yeah,
little later.
Yeah, no, May 2nd. So I
Oh,
won't
that's not
even be in Florida for
that's not
that. Awesome.
that's not even that far away.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that one because I did see the trailer for that one. That was like I hadn't heard anything about Thunderbolts until the trailer,
Hmm.
and after seeing like the cast list, there is a lot of interesting characters on the cast list, and I'm really curious how that's gonna make sense story wise whenever they kind of explain it.
Yeah.
Uh, because yeah, the characters don't really feel like they mix all that well together.
No, not really.
But we'll
It's
see.
gonna be another Suicide Squad, and I don't mean the good one. Um. So let's start talking about this movie. So first of all, I did some research, right? I put out a poll over on my channel. Now that I have like 2,000 subscribers, I generally have a lot of people who will go and vote in polls, right? So I put this out on when did I put this out? When did I put this out? That was I think I put it out on Valentine's Day before I went to the movie. While I was in class, I was like, "Hey, quick poll for the podcast. Uh, what do you guys think of the new Captain America movie?" And it wasn't good. So I got 47 votes. 79% of them said they hadn't even seen it yet. So on release day, on
Well, I
Friday.
will say that's not as surprising anymore. Like kind of like use me as an example with it too, right? Where
Mhm.
I was a diehard fan. I don't know how diehard of a fan you were necessarily, but you probably definitely kept up with it. And
Mhm.
now I feel like even people like me who used to be like super into it don't really care anymore,
Yeah. I haven't
right?
I will say I haven't skipped a movie, but the majority of that is just because I do this show. Like I would have skipped the Marvels.
Well, I feel
Uh
like the shows make it a lot more like it makes it a lot less accessible for like people to get into the movies as well, right? Because
mhm.
they did reference the show a decent amount during this movie, not too much, but a decent amount.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're somebody that's coming in without the show knowledge, especially if you're coming in without like a lot of like the old movie knowledge, it's like why would you even go watch a movie that you're gonna be confused at the whole time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is a factor in that. So 79% of people said they hadn't seen it yet by the time they saw that poll. 4% said it was neutral. 6% said it was good or great, and 11% said it was bad or terrible. So just about twice as many people who saw it said it was bad than said it was good, and that's not great. So that's interesting. Um, I let's talk about the director here. Um, this guy's made 5 movies. Uh, yeah. Uh, not great. Not great. So he started in 2015 with a movie that nobody saw. It's like one of those fucking, it's one of those straight to DVD movies basically that nobody sees, with like some like washed up actors and shit like that that nobody watches. That's on like Redbox. If you still have a Redbox um at your like Walmart or whatever, it's like one of those movies. And then he got his big break directing the third Cloverfield movie, the shitty one. So he made a really terrible Cloverfield movie that is, that wasn't supposed to be connected to Cloverfield. So I don't know. I would say probably the studio is more to blame for that, but still, it wasn't a very good movie. And then he directed another movie that nobody saw, and then another movie that nobody saw, and then Captain America Brave New World. So the new Captain America movie has been given to some fucking guy who hasn't directed like any really big good movies. That's not a good fucking sign. You know, the more recent Captain America movies, Captain America 1, right? That was that was um that was fucking Joe Johnston. So Honey I Shrunk the Kids, The Rocketeer, Jumanji, right? You know, he had some pretty good films under his belt. And then, you know, Winter Soldier was, you know, the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers did a really good job. You know, they directed some stuff for Community. They did you know, they were doing the paintball episodes for Community. So, you know, they saw that and they were like, "Hell yeah, let's do it," you know? Like that's a good um you know what I mean, right? Like that was a
You
good
know,
showing of like
like
uh
yeah, I it is interesting, right? I don't really know much about like the directors. I do know about the Russo brothers, just because the Russo brothers, I feel like were the ones that made like the best ones or like the really good ones everybody talks about.
yeah, they also did Civil War. I was getting to that. They also they came
Yeah,
back for Civil War and they did both Endgame and
and I
um
and I do think directing definitely has like a part in why the movie, I guess, is the way it is.
yeah.
I was gonna ask you how you thought about just the idea of the character like Captain America like being portrayed by like a different actor. If you think like it's like I don't know, I think Anthony Mackie's like a good actor, right? But do you think that because it's not Chris Evans that that's part of the reason also why maybe it's lost a little bit of its appeal? Because I feel like there are like certain actors that I feel like that just make the role, right? Like I would never be able to see like Captain Jack Sparrow as anybody other than Johnny Depp, for example, you know?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he's like lead actor material, to be honest. I think he works better as a um you know, a side character, right? Chadwick Boseman, you know, as far as like black lead actors, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, was like a black lead actor. But Anthony Mackie, you know, he's the fucking he's the guy from 8 Mile who gets destroyed by fucking
Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah, you know,
Yes, of
he's
course.
the Falcon, right? He works best as like the side character, right? I don't know if he has like the leading man charisma that like you know it's just the vibe, right? It's just the fucking vibe. And I don't think
I
Sebastian Stan can has like lead actor material, to be honest, per se.
I
You know what I
will
mean?
say I kind of do get what you're saying, right? Because it is hard for me to like. I feel like as a viewer, like to kind of care as much, right? I
Yeah,
feel like I cared more about the scenes where Harrison Ford was on screen.
that's true, because Harrison Ford is a leading man, and it's
Yeah,
really cool to see him playing the fucking president.
and like it's because I didn't really realize that until you just mentioned that, right? But yeah, I totally get that where it's like Harrison Ford is like he commands so much more presence on screen.
Yes, yes. This all right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Harrison Ford actually it felt like he actually gave a shit. And that was really surprising to me. I did not think that Harrison Ford was going to show up and give a shit about
You like I
yeah.
was gonna mention this as well. I know when we were talking about like you know talking about this movie, you said no spoilers or whatever, save it, I want to talk about more on the podcast, right? But I was gonna say like one of the parts I liked about this movie a lot was the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Was that I feel like that's like probably like that was like my favorite part of the movie was just seeing the Hulk again, but also I feel like Harrison Ford kind of made the Hulk so much
Yeah.
better than it definitely could have been, right?
And I mean, you know, it's Harrison fucking Ford, man. Like come on.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome. It's Han Solo. It's Indiana motherfucking Jones, baby.
I will say that out of all the actors that were in the movie, the ones that I like enjoyed the performance of the most were definitely Harrison Ford, but I also liked the person that played Isaiah a lot. I feel like
Yeah.
he did a really good job of portraying his character.
Yeah. And
Because even though he was like a side character, I was just so much more like I don't know immersed in his character than the other ones.
yeah, and the really um The really interesting thing is I'm pretty sure in I mean, weren't didn't they like kind of like they've aged him up a fair amount, right? Like with makeup wise. I I thought they I don't know. I guess I don't know. I was gonna make a point there, but I'm fucking stupid. So, but yeah, like they had him, in there as like Isaiah Bradley, and I think didn't they cast someone as like a younger version of him, but like he, like it like for a prequel show or something like that, but they just never like made it happen, or they haven't yet
I
made it
I
happen.
don't I don't remember the Captain America show as much. I know he was in that. I don't know if maybe they had like a younger version of him, like a flashback or something in that. I don't
No, they had
really
like the
recall.
grandson.
Yeah, I know that he had like I think family, but I don't remember much else. I was gonna ask you as well. What do you think about the sidekick character
Oh, new
in
Falcon.
I guess yeah, new Falcon because I guess old Falcon is Captain America now, right?
Yeah.
Like it
Um.
also feels weird that the new Captain America still feels like the Falcon because he still has like the Falcon's gimmick of the wings, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of makes it me feel like whenever they do introduce like a new Falcon, it's like not going to be as interesting, right? Because you already have Captain America having that gimmick now.
Yeah. But like, he's not gonna. He doesn't really have any.
I feel like he has like he had a couple decent lines in the movie. I thought that I liked his like little funny quips. He kind of reminds me of like a Spider-Man, Ant-Man esque character where he's like very like
Yeah.
quip focused, right, or quip heavy, which I like those type of characters a lot. But besides that, he didn't really have a lot, I guess, going for him, and he was very like forgettable most of the movie.
Yeah. I think he's a little too quippy to be Captain America. I think I
Are
don't
you
know.
talking
I
about
don't think
Anthony
he's.
Mackie or the sidekick?
I
Because they were both
I was talking about Anthony Mackie.
they both were a little bit. Uh, I think that the sidekick maybe was a little bit more quippy just because he was supposed to be like the young person, right? The
Yeah.
unexperienced guy. But
Yeah.
I do get that as well. Anthony Mackie doesn't feel like he's as serious. Like he does have serious parts, but I feel like they're very few and far between.
Yeah.
So
It's
it makes me kind of forget that he's going through all these things whenever he just like cracks a joke with this person or that person, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And every I don't know. It just didn't feel as like important. It didn't feel like an event. It was just kind of, shit just happened in there. You know what I mean? Like not there was not a whole lot of like really important stuff that happened here. It was like, "Oh, the Serpent Society's here." There was like a huge that was like a huge big, uh that's like a huge big part of the comics, but they're just here now. They're just random villains who don't even really like it doesn't even matter who they are. It could be fucking a bunch of clowns uh all packed into a clown car for all the fucking impact on the plot that it is, you know. And here's some bullshit, right? Is so what we're going to be seeing, right, is we've Daredevil is coming back on March 4th, which is way sooner than I thought it would be. There's not been a lot of fucking fanfare about that, which sucks. Because Daredevil is fucking awesome. So Born Again is gonna be like the sequel to the 3 seasons that came out on Netflix of Daredevil, and it's coming out on March 4th, right? So again, way sooner. Not a lot of fucking fanfare about it. Have you even heard about it at all?
No, it's funny because my friend recently told me to go back and watch the old Daredevil. I don't know if maybe he heard about it, that's why he told me that. But
I'm the second person who's told you to do that, by the way. Or I'm
yeah,
I'm the first
I
person. He's the second.
the yeah, you're but the thing is, I think I might have told you about this before when I talked about it before, but whenever it comes to those old Netflix shows, I never got into them at the time, and I feel like they're referencing them so much more nowadays, and it makes me feel like it's so hard. Like I can't imagine how it would feel for like a new person to Marvel who knows like nothing to get
Hmm.
into these things, right? Because I've been following the movies, I've been following the Disney Plus shows. I just happen to not follow the Netflix shows, and now it feels like so much context is missing unless I go back and watch those shows.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
You are kind of
and
missing out.
and it's like how is it like feasible for like a new person to be a part of like this like these movie series or this show series, like, and I feel like that's part of the reason also why these movies are not doing as well nowadays. Is just people cannot, they don't have the time to
There's
do
no
all.
time to onboard. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
There's
right, like
yeah.
if you know you know, and if you don't, like you have to work so hard to catch up.
Yeah. It is.
I think that they
Yeah.
should, I think that it's hard, but they just got to make these movies a little bit more accessible for people that are just jumping in the middle,
Yeah.
because they reference so many things like just kind of expecting you to know, which is nice if you're one of the people that do know, but if you're not, then you're just left there being like you're just introducing like 40 different plot points all at once.
Yeah. Here.
Because like my brother was kind of telling me that too, because he hadn't watched Eternals, he hadn't watched the show, and I was kind of whispering in his ear, being like, "Oh, that's from the show, that's from Eternals, that's from this, that's from that," kind of trying to catch him up, right?
Hmm.
But not everybody has that person sitting next to them.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's so much has happened that it's really hard to like be able to get into it, which is really, it is sad. It is sad. Um, that there isn't a good place to onboard, right? Because going back to again, what was phase 5, right? Phase 5 started with fucking Quantumania, which is the third movie in the Ant-Man fucking franchise. Not a good time to get onboarded at all, right? Like the first, and then for phase 4 had the same problem. Black Widow was the first film in phase 4, and then it went to Shang-Chi. And Shang-Chi's fucking completely disconnected. Phase 3 had a good onboarding point. Captain America Civil War. It opens, it has that good opening scene with with all the Avengers doing their shit in Nigeria, right? You
Hmm.
know, good time to get introduced to all these characters. Captain America Civil War, good onboarding point. Phase 2, Iron Man 3, not the best onboarding point, but you know what, it's still early on enough that like most people have seen it, and you'd probably go see the Avengers, and then once you've seen the Avengers, that's a good way to introduce people. It's
I think that what my expectation was, at least after the events of Endgame and No Way Home, right, was that they were going to just try to introduce us to like new characters, into like I know they're building towards like a new Avengers. That's kind of been like an obvious thing they've been doing for like a long time.
yeah.
But they haven't really done a good job of like making us like care about the characters they're introducing, because they're all like side characters in other people's movies.
Yes,
Right?
that's
Like
true.
Ironheart got introduced in the Black Panther movie, right?
Yes.
And what's it called? The Hulk, what's it called? Hulk's son got introduced in She-Hulk, right? And
Yes.
it's like they're introducing all these characters that I feel like are going to be important, but nobody really cares about them enough, because they're just in the background of other movies.
Exactly. Exactly. And
and it,
so
and it feels like, how are they gonna make us care about like a new Avengers movie? I
yeah,
don't.
and the fucking, oh man, and the post for the Marvels, right? I know you skipped that. Um, the Marvels, that credit scene was you know, it's setting up like the young Avengers, right? So Kamala Khan. Sorry, I'm so used to talking about Kamala Harris. Kamala Khan meets up with fucking Kate Bishop from Hawkeye. Who the fuck knows who fucking Kate Bishop is? They'll be like,
Well, I
"Oh, is
I
that the
will
fucking Haley
say
Seinfeld character? Is
I
that is
will say, like, they have introduced a couple characters as like their own standalone things, right? Like I know they did Moon Knight, they did what's it called, Miss Marvel, right?
Oh, like fucking Oscar
They
Isaac is
did.
coming back for fucking Moon Knight. He's
I
been in 2 Dune movies. He's
I
been in
I
2 fucking Dune movies. He's not
I
coming back for that
know, but
shit.
it's like out of all the shows, like I think it like is like peak top tier, like Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
Uh, it's up there with Loki, I would say. I think it's like neck and neck right there with Loki.
Moon Knight with Loki? No. No, Loki is the best
Well, no,
MCU show they made.
Loki is like the best, obviously, but I think like right underneath Loki, it's like Moon Knight, and then I think WandaVision was also really solid, but all the other ones have
Eh,
just been kind of like all right.
eh.
You didn't like WandaVision?
I will say for me, looking at these shows, it was
I haven't watched the Secret Invasion. I haven't watched
oh, Secret
Agatha.
Invasion
I
fucking
haven't
sucks.
watched
Oh my
either one of
god.
those. So,
Oh man.
but
Oh fuck
yeah,
man.
but like Moon Knight was really, really good. I loved Moon Knight. I hope that he does come back in some capacity at one point, especially because they did kind of tease like a third personality at the end of the season.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
I
and
don't know
like
if enough people saw it though. I don't know if enough people saw that, to be honest.
but they have done a good, like they've introduced a couple like I guess characters in their own standalone series, right?
Yeah.
But nobody has got a new standalone movie besides like Shang-Chi, and like has there even anybody else besides Shang-Chi that's gotten like a standalone movie where they're the main character? I I don't think so, right?
I don't know. So,
And it's like it's gonna be hard to get people to like really invest in new characters if they don't get their own standalone media, right? I know we're
yeah,
getting Fantastic Four. We got Deadpool and Wolverine, so we kind of got Wolverine back. We're kind of getting Deadpool a little bit, right?
kind of.
So there is a little bit of work I think kind of going towards like building like these recognition for these characters in like people's minds like going forward, but there's definitely not enough, especially for like the newer characters, I would say, right? Or the
Yeah.
lesser known characters.
So, I think with all these shows, I will say Secret Invasion is by fucking far the worst. By fucking far. So bad. So fucking ass.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Haven't watched that one.
Ha-
I haven't
I
watched Agatha. Have you watched Agatha?
I skipped Agatha.
Okay,
Um
so we'll just say Agatha. We don't know, but probably not super notable.
Loki season 2 I think was Loki season 1 and season 2 were really fucking good. I would say Loki
I
season
still
2
haven't gone back to
clears.
season two. I need to because I feel like people keep telling me it's peak.
I would say Hawkeye. Hawkeye's my second favorite.
I really liked Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I thought was a really solid show. Like surprisingly, especially because I don't really care about the character Hawkeye a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say, Loki season 1 and season 2, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel kind of came out of nowhere, but it was actually pretty good.
I didn't mind Miss
Uh
Marvel. Miss Marvel again, like I feel like was a pretty solid one. Like
uh yeah.
I feel like it's really 50-50 whether the show's hit or not. Because
Mhm.
I liked WandaVision. I didn't mind Miss Marvel. I liked Loki obviously and Moon Knight.
Miss Marvel definitely wasn't for us, but like
What do you
eh,
mean for us?
it's for fucking teenage girls, preferably of like immigrant families, especially like South Asian, you know.
I think that the main character is just very likable and very like I don't
But
know if
yes,
I don't know if I would
yes.
say memorable, but I would say like very likable, very easy to kind
Yes.
of get on their side, right?
Iman
Which is
Vellani is really awesome. She
yeah,
is
which is why I feel like
fantastic.
she definitely carried the show just with how she portrayed the character.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's a really big like Marvel fan. So,
I know that was I saw a lot of interviews where she was talking about that how she I think would die if she met Robert Downey Jr. or something like that.
yeah, she's awesome.
Which
She's
I do love when people are passionate about it. I feel like you can really tell when they're acting a lot.
yeah, she is fucking carrying uh every film that she's in. She's absolutely fucking carrying. I love Iman Vellani. She's great. Uh and it's such a shame that she was in The Marvels, which was fucking terrible. I don't know if that was the worst Marvel movie. Um,
No, there's definitely
Quantumania
worse.
is really
Mar-
bad.
well, in like the new phase, you mean?
I'm saying period. I'm saying worst Marvel movie period.
Like, here's the thing. I don't remember every Marvel movie like a whole bunch, but the one that I remember the least, and I don't know if I remember it the least because it's the worst, or I remember it the least just because it's just not very memorable.
Yeah.
Was the Dark Thor: The Dark Worlds. That's the one that
No,
I
even
I
then,
cannot remember like at all. Like all I remember is that I think it might have had something to do with like the Reality Stone,
I I
but
don't
that's
know.
it.
Even that one is
I would need to rewatch it. It's been such a long time, but it is so unmemorable in my mind at least.
even that one is better than Quantumania because Quantumania is really fucking bad. Really, really bad. I don't know.
I
I
didn't
don't know.
mind King, uh, but it was all right,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
guess. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
like right after that happened, the whole drama with the actor happened. So I don't even know what the plan is for that.
Yeah. Um, you know what was kind of weird? They
What's
just
that?
kind of dropped Werewolf by Night. They were just like, "Hey guys, here's a cool black and white Halloween special with Gael Garcia Bernal. Here you go."
I've
And
heard of
then
Werewolf by Night. I never watched that one either though.
it's just like a little like 45 minute, or I guess it's a little bit longer than 45 minutes. About an hour long special of just it's fun, it's cute, I like it. You know, um, but yeah, Echo was really bad. It was not interesting at all. Like
I forgot about
holy
Echo
fucking
too.
shit.
I feel like yeah, man. I'm really behind. I don't even remember a couple of these.
Echo was really fucking boring and lame. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad. Um Secret Invasion was terrible. See, I would say Secret Invasion is the worst. But Echo was bad. Skipped Agatha. I haven't watched the third season of What If because the second season of What If was really shitty too.
There's a third season of what?
Exactly, exactly. It just finished, by the way, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god,
Uh
I'm like, I I feel like I liked What If season one a lot. I didn't mind season two, but it definitely wasn't as good.
they dropped one episode per day. Um uh from December 22nd to December 29th. So, yeah, that happened. There's a new animated Spider-Man film, but apparently I'm pretty sure the guy who wrote um Spider-Man, or the guy who's playing like Spider-Man said some racist shit. He was like, "Yeah, there's no, there's no woke stuff in this one. Yeah, yeah, we did this and there's no woke stuff." Um, but
You
it's like
know,
an alternate
sometimes
universe Spider-Man. It's supposed to be
yeah,
like his origin story, but it's not. So it's like it's not even in the MCU. Like it's in like I ever since they added the fucking other universes and shit, now like you can't call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. It's the Marvel Cinematic Franchise. They have to change the name now. But it's not even in that universe. It's an alternate universe, so it doesn't even matter. I don't know. Daredevil Born Again better be good. I'm going to be really pissed off if it isn't. I'm going to be fucking furious. Uh cuz holy shit, the first 3 seasons are really good and it better be fucking good. But yeah, isn't it funny how we're supposed to be talking about Captain America and instead we're talking about this bullshit?
we went on a tangent, yeah, but I think in the Captain America movie, my favorite part was the Hulk stuff, and I do
Yes.
think that I think that it ended very quick for how much it was in the trailer.
Mhm.
Uh, and I do hate whenever they put things in the trailer like that, and like it's not really as much a part of the movie as you think it is, you know?
I kind of figured that it would be barely in it. I kind of figured, but
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like trailers give away so much of like the big parts of movies nowadays
That's true. That's true.
that it kind of makes it hard for me to really like care about watching a movie because I'm like I feel like I've already kind of seen what's gonna
Okay,
happen
that's a
to a
good
certain extent.
that's a good point. However, oh no, I was gonna give credit to um Fantastic Four. Nope, can't. I can't give them credit because uh they already revealed that Galactus was gonna be in Fantastic Four. So
Well,
damn.
I feel like what they did though is like probably what Captain America should have done, right? Where they would have just it's a tiny little teaser of Red Hulk, but I feel like they had like a whole they had a little bit more than just a teaser of Red Hulk. They had like this like a little mini scene, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it was just Galactus, the back of Galactus's head. So like I'm hoping that whatever happens in the movie will still be I don't know surprising, I suppose.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
we'll see.
I don't know. It's Matt Shackman. It. We've run out of fucking directors here, man. We've ran out of fucking directors because uh Matt Shackman, he's directed a bunch of TV episodes, right?
Hmm.
Uh Granted, he did work on Monarch Legacy of Monsters, and Monarch Legacy of Monsters kicks ass, and not enough people saw it, and I will stand by that for literally my entire life. I think Monarch Legacy of Monsters kicks ass. And he directed a couple episodes of that, but he's a fucking TV director, and they said, "Yep, here's a Fantastic Four. Here you go." Uh, uh, the introduction of one of the most important characters in the entire, uh, in the entire Marvel universe. Here you go. There you go.
What's your
Well,
thoughts about them not bringing back John Krasinski for the role?
I was just thinking about that. I was gonna say, I don't think Pedro Pascal. I think Pedro Pascal is too badass for that. Honestly, I think he's
Like
too badass to be Reed Richards.
I was telling Dylan almost the exact same thing. I was like this like I don't want to say they can't play a good Fantastic Four, but none of the cast really screamed like Fantastic Four to me personally, you know?
Joseph Quinn, I think, is probably a good choice. He doesn't look good blonde, though. I'm gonna say that he does not look
The
good
Human
blonde.
Torch.
Yeah,
The Human Torch out of all of them was the one I liked the most just from like first looks, you know?
yeah.
But I feel like I'd have to actually see the movie to see how I guess well they each portray the character. But yeah, just from first glances, I was like Peter Pascal doesn't really feel like Mr. Fantastic to me, you know?
Actually, you know what? Hey, 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 hey.
So I guess we'll
Speaking
see.
of speaking of Netflix show, the guy who they have playing the thing has previously played someone in the MCU. So it would be really funny if, for some reason, the thing met up with the random fucking the random guy uh, uh, who works with the Punisher that he played on that show. That'd be really funny. That'd be really
Well,
fucking funny.
I would love if they brought the Punisher into like the wider MCU because the
He
Punisher is a
is.
really good character too.
Have you
Like,
seen that
is
Netflix
he?
show?
Well, no, like that's what I'm saying. He's in the Netflix show, but like he's not. The Netflix show isn't really a part of. They're not really a part of the MCU as much yet. They're starting to become a part of the
Have you
MCU.
seen it yet though?
I've not seen any of the Netflix shows, like I told you, but
Then you need to watch because holy fucking shit, that's the best. John Bernthal is the best Punisher that we've ever had. John
I
Bernthal is fucking awesome.
I would love to get another moment, kind of like how we got in like Deadpool and Wolverine with the Chris Evan, you know, switch up there.
Mm-hmm.
That like I do think it's really funny whenever they like are able to acknowledge something and they're able to like play it into like a funny bit, you know what I mean, without I guess taking away like the seriousness, you know,
Mm-hmm.
from like the movie. Deadpool and Wolverine is a really good, I think, uh like movie series to do that though. I don't really know how well it would work if the Thing and the Punisher did that. You know what I mean? I guess we'd have to see. It all depends on execution, though.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I think Pedro Pascal is too badass to be Reed Richards. I think um yeah, I don't know. He's like after I've seen him as Joel and as the Mandalorian and in Kingsman 2, it he just, you know, and from Narcos and like Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones, like I don't I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think he's like he I don't think he can play nerdy. And like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think
Well,
Reed Richards is a big fucking nerd.
yeah, yeah. I don't like I don't really know exactly like the words to describe it, but it's just like it's like a feeling, it's like a vibe, and I just don't feel like he matches it, you know.
Yeah.
At least from everything that I know about Fantastic Four, both from the few comics that I know of, and like the old shows and old movies, and every single sort of like mention in game or out of game, just everything like that, right?
Hmm.
Everything I know about Reed Richards, it just doesn't feel like a good fit, right?
No.
What did you think about John Krasinski? In his like one little scene.
I think it's a good fit. I think
I thought John Krasinski, I feel like fit like the vibe a lot more.
yeah, I think John Kay would be pretty good. Johan Grufford from the original movies was actually pretty good casting.
I was actually that whenever I thought about the Fantastic Four, I thought they were gonna bring him back. That's why I was confused that they decided, I guess, to change him.
Yeah, I will say Miles Teller was too young to play him, but I think that was okay casting. Honestly, you know who would make a really good Johnny Storm is Glenn Powell. I think if they didn't get Joseph Quinn, I think Glenn Powell would have been a really good choice. You know Glenn Powell, right?
Yeah, I've seen him, pop off in a couple different movies in the last couple years. I definitely I can see it, I can't see him being Johnny Storm. I don't know if I would say he's like better than like the guy that is in the new movie. I don't know. I'd have to see it, I guess.
I think with Joseph Quinn, I don't think he's played like a cool character before. Like he played, um his role in Stranger Things, that's sort of something, right? Like that is a sort of, it's cool in a way, but not cool in the way that Johnny Storm's supposed to be cool. It's Johnny fucking Storm. His last name is Storm. Like, come on. That's fucking badass. And so I don't he's a good
Well,
actor,
what do
he's
you
very
think about
talented.
Susan Storm? Because they're supposed to be related, aren't they? Right?
Uh I don't think I think the age gap between them is a little too big.
That's what I was thinking a little bit too. It felt like it doesn't really feel like they're siblings as much.
Yeah.
As it doesn't feel believable.
That's why I think Glenn Powell
Also,
would have been a better choice. I think Joseph Quinn's too young. Like,
maybe for like the age range of the other characters, because I do agree with you that the other characters all do seem a tiny bit older than him. To where
yeah,
like it does kind of like ruin, I guess, that believability.
yeah. So Joseph Quinn is all right. All right. You know what? I've received some new information.
You change your mind real quick.
I'm not changing my mind because he still looks really young.
Yeah, I think visually though, yeah, he still feels younger,
The
or maybe the other person just feels older. I don't know.
So Vanessa Kirby, who's playing Susan Storm, is 36 years old. Joseph Quinn just recently turned 31. So only a 5 year age gap, you know,
Yeah, it's not too bad, but
not
I don't know. It
unreasonable.
it just doesn't. Maybe it's like the I don't know, like resemblance. I don't think resemblance is like a big thing though, because
I mean, they
not all
kind of
si-
look like each other, but
not
that's,
all siblings look alike. But I think it just doesn't feel the age gap feels bigger than that.
yeah.
I don't know.
So she, yeah. And then let's look up how old Paul or Pedro, not Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal. All right. Now here's the actual problem. Here's what I'm saying, right? And so they've paired up Vanessa Kirby with Pedro Pascal. So Vanessa Kirby feels older than she is, but she's closer to Joseph Quinn than she is to Pedro Pascal. Guess how old Pedro Pascal is?
I don't know. I want to say like, is he mid 40s now?
By the time Fantastic Four comes out, he will have turned 50.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah. So I think that's also not a great choice, to be
He looks really
honest.
good for his age, though.
He does, but given that Joseph Quinn still looks very young and Vanessa Kirby is getting paired off with this man who is, 13 years older than her, right? Like that's going to
I think what it is though is that Pedro Pascal doesn't look as old. What's it called? Susan Storm looks older, and then Johnny Storm looks younger. That it kind of the age and like the visual like look of them all just feels a little off, you know?
I think Pedro Pascal was miscast, honestly. Like I think they should have gotten someone younger.
I
I
think he's
think
a really
someone
good actor, and I think he'll probably do a pretty good job in the role. I just feel like as an audience, appearances do matter to some extent, and just by appearance, it doesn't feel like super right or super believable or super accurate, you know?
I think that he is the least I think he is the most miscast here. I think he doesn't have the right vibe uh for Mr. Fantastic, and I think he's too old. And I think he ages up Vanessa Kirby by having a romantic relationship with her, which makes Joseph Quinn seem too young. I think if you want to keep Pedro Pascal, you got to get rid of Joseph Quinn and you bring in Glenn Powell, or you get rid of Pedro Pascal and you bring in someone a little bit younger, someone mid 30s. Maybe I would say the oldest you go is 40. The oldest you go is 40 for Reed Richards. And you go someone who can be a little bit nerdier, you know? And I think I don't know. I don't know. I just that's sort of my opinion on that. And it's gonna be in some alternate fucking universe as well, and that's gonna piss me off. And whatever, it's all bullshit. Everything sucks. I hate it. The MCU is boring. I eventually it's gonna peter out, and they're gonna have to reboot it. And when they reboot it, you and I should be in charge. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, that's the dream, Let's blow up the podcast, guys, and whenever they make the second coming of the Marvel Universe, and
No,
who
we'll
knows
do it.
when.
We'll do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I know, yeah, but we're gonna have to wait until this Marvel Universe like dies out eventually. Then we're gonna revive it a little bit later. We're gonna
Yeah,
start clean slate. You know what I mean?
clean slate. Kevin, I'm coming for your job, Feige. I'm coming for your job, bitch. But yeah,
But
so
before we go to ad break, which
we need to
we don't,
talk about the Super Bowl first.
I was gonna say, do we want to say anything else about Captain America, or we think we concluded there?
Overall, I think it was kind of not great.
I think it's just a very middle of the road movie. It had good parts. It had a lot of like parts.
It had very little impact on me one way or the other.
I liked Harrison Ford though. That's my comment.
I love Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford. I love him in everything he's in. Go watch Shrinking on Apple TV. Go watch Shrinking if you want some more Harrison Ford.
All right, well that seems to be our review of Captain America. But let's talk about the Super Bowl real quick, and then
Yeah.
I
So
think call it here.
So obviously last year, in the Super Bowl, Chiefs made it. Taylor Swift was dating Travis Kelsey, right? So
Hmm.
all the Swifties were watching, and we pointed this out last year. They made some changes to the way overtime works, to where it's not a sudden death thing. It's just like some extra time, and so it's not the first team to score wins. It is like a full, like actual round of overtime. So it was the first Super Bowl in years to make it into overtime with the most people watching, I think, ever for a Super Bowl. So they had all the Swifties watching. The game went longer so they could put more ads on there. Basically, it was completely fucking scripted, and the Chiefs won in the end, even though they shouldn't have. Um, so, uh, you know, again, scripted. It was entirely scripted to sort of make sure that the Swifties, they were there, they were watching, they watched the ads that because they had to do more ads to fill in the game time because they played for longer. So they did more ads, so more people watching, so they made more money. And then the Chiefs won, so all the Swifties were like, "Oh my god, the Chiefs won! Travis Kelsey won! Oh my god!" So they would come back next season. So they've been watching all this season, but they heard me pointing out their conspiracy. They heard it, right? They knew. They didn't send me an email or anything. They didn't hit me up, but that's fine because I know. So they knew that I was onto them. So they couldn't do it again this year. So they scripted it so that the Eagles would win this year because now the Chiefs lost. So Taylor Swift is gonna break up with Travis Kelsey and start dating someone on the Eagles now. I'm pretty sure. That's my theory.
I would love for this to come true. I really hope it does. I would love for this conspiracy to get out there one day that the Super Bowl is just rigged. NFL is just rigged.
And I mean,
But I
if
guess
I
we'll
was
see.
Taylor Swift, I would break up with Travis Kelsey because Trump spent like $22 million, it's somewhere between 12 and $22 million to go to the fucking Super Bowl for no reason, right? No other president has gone, to my knowledge, in all the like 59 Super Bowls. Um, nobody else, no other president has went. So that was a waste of money and resources and time, but not only did he go for no reason, he also fucking he made like a post about it. And Travis Kelsey, you know, and for context, Donald Trump has previously literally he tweeted out on fucking Truth Social and I think Twitter that he hates Taylor Swift. Like he specifically said that, called her out by name, and Travis Kelsey welcomed him to the
Yeah, it's
Super
a little
Bowl.
longer.
And it's like if somebody went on fucking social media and said that they hated my girlfriend, I wouldn't welcome them to the fucking Super Bowl. I would say, um, you know, we welcome everyone who comes, no matter who they are, right? I would say some, non-explicit bullshit, right? But Travis couldn't even do that because he's a fucking idiot. His podcast with his brother has come up a couple times in ads for my videos, right? For specifically for the Super Mega Baseball series that I do. His what is it? New Heights podcast comes up every once in a while, and he's just a fucking idiot. He's not very smart. Um yeah. So I think I think their relationship's going to be over pretty soon. And yeah, I look forward to seeing who she's going to date next. But she should probably fucking figure it out soon because Taylor, you're not getting any younger. You know, got to settle down eventually. But yeah, anywho, that was interesting. And yeah, so like I said, Super Bowl was scripted again this year, but the Eagles won this time instead of the Chiefs. So that's good. Fuck the Chiefs. I don't need to see them win another Super Bowl. Um, halftime performance. Danny, as the resident non Kendrick Lamar listener, how did you feel about it?
Well, I think I mentioned it last week. My friends did ask me to listen to an album before the Super Bowl. I listened to the most recent album, and then I watched the Super Bowl.
Which one, Mr. Morale or the one that he came out with this year?
It's like three letters, like something like that. I think it's like a.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. All
So I
right.
watched. I listened to that. I listened to it. I I I I was paying a lot more attention for like the first half of the album. I will say, just because I was like walking and doing things.
Yeah.
So I stopped really taking note of like the song titles, and the songs kind of did start to kind of like blend together in my mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, maybe it's just because I don't listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar, but it was really hard to kind of follow exactly what he was saying.
But it was good, right?
Some parts of it were all right, I guess. I feel like there was only one song of note in the first album that I even remembered the name of, that because I was like, okay, this song is not too bad.
What was it
Uh,
called?
it was Luther. That was the one.
Oh, it was SZA. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so I listened. So I go into my room, my brother's room. My brother's watching the second quarter, and we watched the Super Bowl, right? Now during the Super Bowl, I didn't really know what was going on. He like had his, I think, producer on there,
Hmm.
and and like I was like, "Who's that?" And they told me, and then I saw, I think Serena Williams was there at one
Serena
point.
Williams was crip walking. Yep.
Yeah, and then he had to kind of explain to me what the beef was because I did miss out on all the beef
Oh my
that
god, he
happened.
doesn't even know. He doesn't even know why he was beefing with Drake. Oh my god. Did you even know he was beefing with Drake?
Well, see, I didn't know why Serena Williams was there. I was like, is that supposed to mean something to me? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get it, but I found out afterwards a little bit. But during the actual Super Bowl, though, I did not follow any of the words that he was saying. It all kind of was like a jumble,
You
at
didn't
least to
hear
me.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better never go to cell block 1. You never heard you didn't
No,
hear
no,
that?
no. I actually heard it. Like whenever I saw a clip afterwards that was like captioned because I could not follow it during the
Dude,
Super Bowl without
he
captions. I needed.
slows down the fucking delivery and he says it so clear.
Well,
Say
here's the
Drake,
problem
I
though,
hear
right?
you like I'm young.
After listening to him like rap, and like me not really being able to understand it, I kind of started zoning out at one point because I'm like I'm so like uninterested and so unable to really understand anything
How
that
are
I
you
feel like
uninterested? It was like the best halftime show in years.
people have been praising this halftime show, and I don't really feel like. To me, I thought it was all that. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I thought it was
It
just
was
all
the
right.
most viewed halftime show ever. It more than Michael Jackson's in 93.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. There were so many fucking yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. That was a lot of
But yeah,
viewers.
I don't really care about the drama, so I feel like that didn't really do anything for me personally.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not really somebody
How?
I'm not somebody who really cares about drama. I used to be one of those people back in the day that would like sit on my phone, go to drama alert, check out what's going on among people. But now at this point, like I don't really care unless the drama's like funny.
I mean,
Uh
it was it got really ugly. It got really fucking ugly. It was yeah, it got a little rough. Um
yeah,
because Kendrick straight up on national
also
television to 133.5 million people, he did in fact call Drake a pedophile in front of all those people.
thank you. Thank you.
So, not fun. But hey, maybe Drake shouldn't have gone for the family. You know, Kendrick literally said on Euphoria, he's like, "Hey man, this is a friendly fade. Fucking don't go for my family, or I'm gonna fucking destroy you." And then he went for it, and then he got fucking destroyed. So it's his own goddamn fault. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm so out of the loop with quite a lot of like mainstream drama news. But yeah, I watched it. I thought it was all right. I heard people said they liked it. To me, I don't know. I just it wasn't really for me, I guess, you know?
It
I don't know.
was, yeah. I don't know. It was pretty. It was interesting. It was interesting. It was a it was a good fucking show. It was a good fucking show. All the fucking white people are fucking all the white people don't like it. But me, as a good white person, I liked it.
I didn't say that I don't like it. I just said that it wasn't for me.
What was a better halftime show in your opinion? Like,
I
when has
don't
there
watch
ever
the
been a better
halftime
one?
show.
Yeah, exactly. So all the ones that you've seen and paid attention to, this
Is
one is the
Shakira in a
best.
halftime show?
Maybe. I don't know.
I
There
probably would have
was
liked hers.
the 2022 halftime show was actually kind of good. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and also Kendrick, um, was pretty good. It was pretty good. I thought they had 50 Cent on that one. Yeah, 50 Cent was on that too. So that was cool. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was the 2021 was J Lo and Shakira. Um,
I think I do. I remember one with Shakira, so that's probably the one I was thinking of.
but J Lo is fucking lame. So yeah, and then they had Maroon 5 in 2019. That was the one with the SpongeBob one. But then they barely did anything for it. Um, and instead just went into Travis Scott, who's a fucking idiot loser. And then Justin Timberlake was 2018, and that was really bad. That one was terrible. Um, yeah,
Uh, well, I think that unless you have anything else more to say about the Super Bowl, I think we cut for break, and see if
yeah,
we can have a cool second half. We might
yeah,
we might have a surprise. Hopefully, y'all are excited.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we might have a little surprise guest here in the second half. So stay tuned. But yeah, uh, obviously I can't make any more jokes about the city of Philadelphia and Eagles fans destroying it, because everyone else has already made them. So yeah. So we're gonna go to the ad break. Yeah, see ya. This podcast is sponsored by Amanda Redwine, your no nonsense talk therapist and parent coach. Serving individuals and couples in both Illinois and Florida for counseling/therapy, as well as worldwide for parent coaching. Amanda's specialty is working with teens and young adults, as well as their family systems. Amanda has extensive experience working with youth who identify on the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. She has also done couples work based on a foundation of the Gottman method. She brings a light, no nonsense approach to treatment that is approachable and empathetic. She is unflappable and makes her clients comfortable from the very beginning. Find out more at www.amandaredwine.com. That's AmandaRedwine.com. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode, and back to the show. All right, we're back, and this time we've got a very special guest. Say hello.
Hey, how's it doing?
Introduce yourself.
I go by Blairy. You can find me on my home address, same as Michael Vsauce over here. I go
They
by
can't see the
Dylan on the
names.
Yeah,
government.
they can't see the names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't. For context, Danny started his the episode. His name in the call was Hey Vsauce for some reason. I don't know why. He just chooses names sometimes. I don't get it. But yeah, this is Dylan.
That's my
Everyone,
government.
that this is his government name, Dylan Eden.
Dylan E. You can find me on Xbox.
He's related to certain other people named Eden in this show.
Who else could it be?
There's a
I
couple other
wonder.
Edens, none famous though, so we'll be the first.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we've been trying to get some ideas off the ground. We can make the Eden name household.
it's, yeah, sure,
You
sweetie.
know, like I got this going on. Dylan has a couple ideas. We can't say any of them here
We're
though.
making big moves.
It's top
2030
secret.
beginning.
You're making money moves. You're making
We're
money
making
moves.
we're making stonks.
Stonks. You're making
Stonks.
stonks. Chat.
We're gonna be making stonks.
Chat. He's making stonks.
Buku
Chat.
Like,
butts.
listen to this guy. This guy has ideas. Like.
So he does he have any ideas about Invincible, the new Invincible episode that we all just watched?
The
Do you
newest
wanna? Do you wanna
Invincible
like?
episode. I've got a lot to say.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. Well, good opening sequence, good ending sequence, amazing middle.
Okay. I have some notes about the season so far as a whole. Um, do we want to talk about it? Danny, it has taken a while for Danny to catch up, but he's finally here with us.
Well, they
Um,
don't know how long it's taking me to catch up, but I caught up like all week, pretty much.
so Danny watched the first season of Invincible, and then he kind of stopped, and now we're on season 3. So he watched all of season 2 and up to where we are in season 3
Well, I
of
actually
the of
watched
this
all
break.
of season 1 too.
Oh, I guess he's watched 2
He's
entire
a
seasons of this
rewatcher.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get caught up, then that before I started season 2.
Yeah. So I have some notes so far about the season, where we're at, what are
Well,
we
as
halfway through?
yeah, as of now, we finished episode 4 as of today. I don't know what day of the week they're coming out, but yeah, like 4 is the most recent one that came out.
It might be like Wednesday or something.
Yeah, but
Wednesday or
it's
Thursday.
there's 4 more episodes left in the season.
Yep.
Um, I believe I'm trying to think because I've watched all of the episodes back to back to back. They're kind of the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 3 kind of blends together with me.
Yes.
Now, I believe was it the last episode of season 2 or was it the first episode of season 3 with the Angstrom Levi guy?
I want to say that was last episode season 2
That was the
finale.
last episode of season 2. The season finale. Yeah, that sounds about right. The season finale of season 2 was the Angstrom Levi stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say everything you just said again, because I got up and I left.
Why?
Dog was pawing at the door. He wanted to go out.
Okay, well, I was pretty much saying the episodes kind of blend, but I'm pretty
Yes.
sure season 2 is the one. The last episode of season 2 is the one where is the Angstrom Levi stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Angstrom
thought you were
Levy.
stronger.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Levy, yeah, Angstrom Levy.
Yeah. Uh. So I talked about this with Maxwell when he was still on. Invincible's a little bitch, and I hate him. And I think he's here. The note that I wrote, I was watching the first 3 episodes. The what I said was, and I quote, I said Mark Grayson, more like cuck son.
You
Okay.
know, Dylan, this is like the type of peak comedy that you get whenever you're on the IAHS podcast. You know.
And then right after I said again, and I quote, more like Invincible bitch is what I said. Yeah. Um so that
Well, do
was
you
that was cool.
have any specifics you wanna talk about besides just your notes?
So, all right, for someone who watched all of season 1, all of season 2, and then is now in season 3, I want to ask you a question, Danny.
What's that?
Um, did you notice that they made Amber a total bitch at the end of season 1, and then at the beginning of season 2 they were like, "Oh shit, everybody hates Amber. We need to fix that." And so they like really course corrected on her. Did you
Well, what do
notice
you
that?
mean by make her a bitch?
So at the end of season 1, she reveals that she knew that Mark was invincible the whole time, but she gets pissy and bitchy at him for like standing her up and like going on dates and stuff, or like not going on dates with her because he was being invincible and like saving lives and killing supervillains and shit like that. And she gets really pissy at him for it. And it's like, well, bitch, you know he's invincible. You know he's got better shit to do. Why are you acting like a fucking hoe?
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of justified for like everything up to that point. You know what I mean?
No,
I and I feel
you are
like
in the minority.
you even see like Eve kind of double what's it called like agree with it too. Whenever like he goes to Eve about it.
Well, Eve is also wrong.
I
Um,
kind of have to agree with Mr. K. Thugston here. I mean,
Well, tell me why.
Mark sort of has this responsibility to the world, you know,
yeah,
and you can't stop yourself from finding a wife, right? And obviously Amber isn't wife material if she
she
can't
was
put these
never
little
wife material.
minuscule little details behind her.
Hmm.
Well, you see, like I think that for Amber though, in that moment, it wasn't really even about uh the fact that he was a hero. It was about like I said, the trust thing, right? And like she already knew the secret, right? So she didn't really care. But it's the fact that he was hiding it from her. But
No,
like,
she was mad because he was standing her up. Like, she specifically says that. It's not that he was lying to her. Like, she is mad about that, but no, she's mad that he was doing his hero shit. Like, she says that. And that's the part. So there was a
I
huge fan outcry. I know you don't know this because you're not on Twitter. You don't really like, you kind of
on
live under a
X.
rock. Um, but uh everyone and their mother hated Amber and was like making jokes about how much of a bitch she was up to the beginning of season 2. And the showrunner saw that and they definitely like course corrected to like make her more reasonable and shit like that, while also understanding that they have to break up because in the comics Invincible and Eve, you know, that's the because duh, like obviously, you know.
Well, I don't know. I feel like everything that she had to go through in the show, like I feel like I can understand why she feels the way she is. I don't think it's like too like unrealistic. I guess it's not maybe likable, but the character's not written badly, I
I
don't
mean,
think.
yeah, she's a realistic bitch, you
Yeah,
know.
like everything that like I'm not saying that people are gonna like her, but I feel like she's justified for the way she acts in the first season there, you know?
No, she's not justified. She's very self-centered. She's a self-centered whore. But we're not here to talk about Amber. Amber's fucking old news, baby. Because we're in season 3. Amber's gone, and with the Dylan, would you agree that with the course correction on Amber, they made Mark more unlikable? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I feel like she just
Yes.
like sprinkled her little, I guess, bitchiness dust all over him, sort of. He's
Yes.
tripping. He's a bit he's going a little bit amok, I guess, in the wrong way.
Yes. Oh my god. Finally somebody fucking get I hate Mark. I hate Mark now. I
I
hate him.
I don't think that in season 2 he was that bad. I think in season 3 is when he really started getting like I think really unlikable for me because in season 2 I feel like I don't know, like a lot happened to him, but he didn't do anything that was like super offensive. But season 3 he's just been acting way out of character for the first couple seasons, you
No,
know?
he's been being retarded since I mean he was always kind of retarded, but
Well, yeah.
in season 2 they made him way stupider. Oh my, he's so fucking dumb. He's so dumb. He's so dumb. And I have something to say. I have something to say,
Go ahead.
and I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
They made Debbie dumber too, to the point where I agree with Nolan when he called her a pet. She has the IQ of a fucking Shih Tzu.
Well, what are you referring to specifically? Like, is there just like a specific situation, or are you talking about just in general?
Right now, the main thing that I'm pissed at her about is season 3 when she gets all pissy at Oliver for doing his thing and taking out the Mauler twins. You
Mm,
know, which is fucking based, by the way, Dylan. I think you would agree.
absolutely.
Absolutely fucking based. Kill those goddamn Mauler twins. Take them out. Um, when she's like, uh, but the Muller twins, they have friends and families. Or and she's like, you know, when you kill someone, they have friends and families too. And Oliver has the perfect fucking defense against that. He's like, they're the Muller twins. They didn't have friends or family. And then she has no response. No fucking response. Neither does Mark. Because they both have the IQ of fucking dogs. They have the IQ of fucking dogs. They are absolutely fucking useless. Fucking wastoids. Oh my god. It it is so funny. This entire show has made me love Cecil so much because Cecil is 100% in the right every single fucking time. Because every time he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ. This fucking absolute brain dead moron, this 80 IQ fucking nothing, intellectually fucking deserted, uh fucking useless wastoid moron has the powers of a fucking god." And like that would give me a fucking nightmare every fucking night. I don't know how Cecil sleeps at night knowing that Mark, the biggest fucking moron in the universe, has the powers to literally squash him like an ant. Like, oh my fucking god. That the Invincible universe is truly not a meritocracy because Mark is the dumbest motherfucker ever. Oh my god. So we're kind of like bouncing around a bit, but episode 1 with the Doc Seismic fight. Was that episode 1 or episode 2, Dylan?
Doc Seismic, I thought. Yeah, I think that is episode 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Mark handles that so fucking poorly. So at the beginning of episode 1, we hear that Mark has a 138% strength increase. He is 138% stronger than he was in season 1, where he was stopping fucking asteroids.
I
And
will say, like, his portrayal of his strength on screen a lot of the times feels very inconsistent, and I
it
think that
is.
the way they try to explain it is that he just holds back a lot
But
because, like,
why?
whenever he wants to, like, kill somebody, it's like so easy for him.
Yeah.
But like the second he's trying, like, every other fight, he just holds back to the point where he just gets beaten, and it's like, what's the point of even?
Yeah, with the fucking bug. The bug. That pincer coming down on him. He should have been able to either A, fucking keep it off of him with no like pressure at all. Because again, stop the fucking asteroid. So either that he should be able to keep it off of him. He should have moved it to the side. Or here's the fucking thing. You have super speed, Mark. You never should have been pinned in the first place. You have fucking super speed. Fucking use it. Like, oh my god. Like those eggs, right? The eggs where all the superheroes were trapped in. Why didn't you go and fucking open those up as soon as you got down there? You have super speed. You could have opened all of them up inside a second. Dude, maybe could have had the Immortal helping you. You could have had fucking maybe not Duplicate because she's fucking stupid. I don't know, maybe Robot. Robot's cool. We love Robot. Robot's awesome. Love a good robot. But instead, the fucking Reanimen have to open the fucking bug eggs because Mark can't even open them, right? Mark can't even open them from inside one of them. It's so dumb. It's so fucking stupid. I don't know if it's the writers of the show or the writers of the comic, and like the writers of the show are just adapting it. But like, if it's that dumb in the comic and you don't change it, you are like just as bad, right?
I
If
do
not
think it's
worse.
like, I think it's weird how they presented him as so powerful, but they just keep nerfing him every time that it's convenient for like the plot, you know?
Exactly. It's like the CW Flash. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the CW Flash, but the fact that any of those episodes are an hour long means that there are so many points when CW Flash could punch the villain at super speed, knock him out, and just be done, right? But he
Right.
stops to talk, or he lets the villain just get away with shit, right? And it's really, really fucking frustrating. And it's the same with Invincible. Because what Mark could have done, he could have flown in, take the gloves off Doc Seismic, done. Use super speed. Use it. He could have flown in, cut Doc Seismic's arms off with his hand, maybe that's not super moral, right? You're permanently disabling an enemy, you're amputating both of his limbs, but hey, you're still fucking getting rid of him, right? There were so many ways he could have fucking handled this, but because he's a moron, he doesn't know. All right. I don't think any of you fucking understand how retarded Mark is, but like in this episode, Mark says that the Declaration of Independence goes back to New York.
I do remember that.
Right.
I do
But
recall.
no. However, it's actually in DC, and Mark should know that because he was there when it was stolen. Like, that's not even like first of all, every American should know that the Declaration of Independence is in Washington, D.C. However, if you were there in Washington, D.C. when it was stolen, you have no fucking excuse. Mark is actually is mentally handicapped. Like, he has an actual mental. Like, Eve is taking advantage of a man with a severe mental disability. It's troubling that she's dating this man because he's severely mentally handicapped. She had sex with him at the end of the episode. Um he can't consent. He doesn't have the cognitive ability to consent. Eve, you just fucking raped Mark. Okay? Jesus. But yeah, anyway, Cecil was right. Black Samson was right. Mark's a fucking moron. Does not deserve to live. I hope they kill him. I think they should just change go away from what it is in the comics, like they did with the boys, and just kill him in the next episode. Just kill him. Just kill him.
Well,
But
I
bring
like
him back though,
Alan.
right?
Alan's cool.
Yeah, just focus on Alan, Nolan, and Oliver. Oliver's awesome. I fucking love Oliver. Oliver's great. He's voiced by that kid who was in Sweet Tooth on Netflix, and I fucking love Sweet Tooth on Netflix. That was a good show.
I do think Oliver is a very interesting character, especially what they've done with him so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how that's going to progress, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Oliver's fucking based. He killed the Mahler twins. Um,
I don't really completely understand the whole point of all these like side things happening, you know what I mean, right? Like the whole Declaration of Independence, like little like side adventure, the whole Angstrom Levy little side adventure. It feels like unnecessary, all the extra stuff, because it was really just all about like the intergalactic war, and now we have all these extra things just happening.
well, Angstrom Levy is supposed to give him character development and make him think that he's acting like his dad. Um, and I would like to counter no. Killing Angstrom Levy, he should have fucking killed Angstrom Levy very, very quickly. Uh, he was trying to he was holding both your mother and your small infant brother hostage. Just kill him. In a real fucking situation, if like in real life, if somebody was holding my wife and my whoa, hang on, my mom, and like if I had a baby brother and she was holding them hostage, fucking, and I had a gun, I'd just shoot him in the head. Like I wouldn't feel bad. Why would you fucking feel bad? Mark, you are such a weak, pathetic, spineless, brainless, witless, useless, dickless, gutless, fucking cockless loser, right? See, I don't understand how Eve even managed to have sex with him. He's flat down there like a Ken doll. He doesn't have a cock. He doesn't have balls. He's a fucking useless piece of shit. I hate him.
All right. Well, it I'm picking up hints that you don't like Mark. I'm picking up little bits here, but
I
I
I
think what I
hate
would
him.
I want to focus on the Alan story. I feel like we haven't really even gotten much of it. I've been waiting for it. I could really care less about Invincible right now, and here's character progression. I want to talk about Nolan and Alan. I feel like their duo-ness is gonna like rival Batman and Robin or something. You
I
know,
would love
Exactly.
he's
that. I would
Invincible's
love that so
new friend,
much.
and he's getting some good character growth.
Yes, Nolan. As usual, fucking Nolan is based. Stealing the show. J.K. Simmons is a fucking national treasure.
He's got a nice
Um,
porn stash.
love the porn stash. Oh my god, that man fucks. You know that J.K. Simmons has the fucking J.K. schlong. Um, I'm not even talking about Nolan. Actually, I do have a note about Nolan that I would like to point out.
I'm
Why is the
curious.
why is the alien just called Nolan? All the other
Uh,
Viltrumites have like weird names and shit. Why is he just called Nolan? Like that's a normal human name. The fuck?
is he in Nolan in the comics too?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
strange.
Let me do some research here.
Yeah, all the other Viltrumites do have weird names. Maybe
Yeah.
he has like an Earth name. I don't know.
Earth name Nolan Grayson. Oh, it's Nolan apparently.
Okay, yeah.
Like they pronounce it Nolan.
So yeah, so it's just an Earth version of that. That kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, it's dumb though.
But imagine the
It's
ultimate
dumb and
team up:
cringe and
Alan the
gay.
Alien, Omni Man, and Kid the Omni Man. You know what I mean?
Honestly, right? Like there's General Craig. Oh, I guess Craig is kind of a normal name. They just spell it weird. General Craig. But like Thula, Vidor, those are some fucking Viltrumite names. Why is his name just fucking Nolan, bro? Like the fuck?
Oh,
The
there's
fuck?
also yeah, there's Thaddeus as well. I believe that's the one that was working with the Resistance, right? Was it Thaddeus?
Yeah.
Who's that? What was the name of that girl that came to Earth to beat up Mark?
Anissa, I think.
Is that right? Anissa? That
Yeah,
sounds right.
Anissa.
Short hair girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do all have like slightly strange names, don't they?
Yeah. But yeah, I hate Mark. And I love Alan. It's really fucking crazy that they made a character so unlikable that the Seth Rogen character is better. That's crazy.
It looked like he kind of had that Saiyan energy, I guess, the Saiyan gene, just getting stronger after he's beat down.
Yeah, like is that part of I think like his genetic enhancement or whatever that makes Alan much stronger? That he just has like the Saiyan thing where he just gains power after injuries.
No, I think he's just really cool and based and yeah.
Because if that's true, they should just keep beating up Alan over and over until he just heals to be the ultimate guy.
Yeah, just keep whooping that man's ass. Just keep fucking bam. Take his ass out. Fucking slam his dick in the balls.
Yeah,
Just
just
bam,
just put
bam,
him
bam.
near death like 5 or 6 or 7 times. He just gets an extra, exponential power increase every time.
Yeah.
His weapons are
However,
gonna be bigger than the planets.
you know, guys, Thetis and Nolan actually have some beef.
Which one was Status? Was that
Thetis
the?
is the guy. Um he's the one Viltrumite to go against the Empire.
He's the founder of the coalition of the
Oh
planets.
yes.
Yes. Yes, he is. And he and Nolan have some beef.
Well, I guess I gotta go make some tacos.
Did they ever say who the mole was though? Because was Status the mole?
I don't think so.
Or did they never? Did they kind of just gloss past the mole? I remember at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're gonna so in the comics, they do have a personal connection. I don't want to spoil it, but
Oh, have you read the comics?
I know what happens in them, you know. But yeah, Thetis has some beef, you know. This isn't Chick-fil-A. He's got beef. And also he's not homophobic. But yeah, that's kind of actually we don't know. Do we think Optimus Prime is homophobic?
Did you say Optimus Prime?
Yeah. I made you watch the first two Transformers movies, Danny. Fucking
No, I missed the first one. You watched it with somebody else.
no, but you watched it in the past, so I went back in your past and I made you watch it.
I don't. I don't
Yeah,
think that's true.
no, I did that. But yeah, that's Optimus Prime's voice. I am Optimus Prime.
You know what?
That guy.
You might be able to get Dylan to watch Transformers 3 with you.
Just don't worry your pretty little head about that. How about that? How about that? How about that, pumpkin?
You know, he might be a great villain for me actually on that one.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Just don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, no, we're I'm interested to see those two meet. I'm more interested with everything going on in space than any of the dumb bullshit on Earth. But Cecil is also based, and I love him.
All right.
And I
Well,
hope he kills Mark.
what's your final thoughts before we move on to Big Red Button? Do you have a Big Red Button?
Dylan, do you have a big red button?
What is Big Red Button?
I'll
Uh,
explain it to him.
okay. So the premise of Big Red Button is, there's a hypothetical button in front of you, um, where it is, you press it and one thing happens, but a consequence also happens.
Got it. Okay.
So, um, okay.
We can give you some examples from the past. Let me pull up some old Big Red
Yeah,
Buttons.
what are some good old ones? What do we have here? Um,
I gotta pull up the
I forget
podcast.
which one my favorite. Oh, my favorite one is, you get all the money from Weezer's next tour, but you have to personally fillet all of them to completion.
Okay. And you're asking me if I would push the button.
Yeah, but we're not doing the Weezer one. It's a different one. It's a different one. But yeah, it's like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
I
do you
think
get
I
it
have the
now?
premise. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Would you press that button actually?
I'm. That's not the question here, Mr. K.
All right. Um. Hmm.
I misspelled the podcast so badly.
How did you misspell podcast? It's 7 letters.
No, I misspelled like the title of our podcast so badly.
I guess.
I misspelled the first two words terribly, but I got my part right.
Um. Ooh, Dylan, I have a
Okay.
good one.
Okay.
Invincible finally dies, but the show is about Amber for the rest of the show.
You know what? It probably would be a little bit more informational learning about architecture. So I think I would have to click it.
No, Amber is
Oh,
the
Amber the black girl. Okay.
yeah.
Wasn't she white in the comics?
Yeah,
Like she looked exactly like Eve?
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Well,
interesting?
no, absolutely I wouldn't click the button.
Are you sure?
We're talking about Amber the what
Yeah.
was- okay.
Mark is
No.
pissing me off a lot.
You don't want to see the adventures of Amber and William and Rick?
No, she's not hanging out with William and Rick anymore
Why not? Like she's just
because
not
she
friends with
doesn't
them?
fuck Mark anymore.
Yeah, but like didn't they just become like friends? Like
No,
even like a little bit?
no,
Well,
because
well then I get
Rick and William are fucking day one homies who understand the bro code, which is in fact bros before hoes.
okay, well I guess it would be Amber and then every now and then she would see Eve in between classes.
Yeah, and it's about the new guy that she's hooking up with. So it's just a normal dude.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Doesn't matter.
She mentioned the name, but I was like I didn't think it was important to remember.
Exactly. So would you press that button?
Absolutely not.
Dylan, it's an average day college show set in a superhero world, but there's no
Yeah,
superhero.
exactly.
Why
You just
who
hear superhero shit on the news, and that's it.
who would want to watch a couple of hour-long episodes about that?
Well, like Adam Eve might show up every now and then, you know.
I
Yeah,
guess they
yeah.
were in the
Eve might
slice
show
of
up,
lives.
and she's like, "Oh my god, fucking, poor Mark. He finally died." And Eve's like the only one sad about it, and everyone else is like, "Oh, finally! I fucking hated that guy. Oh, he was such a fucking loser. He was such an idiot, dude."
But if we're lucky, right? Maybe there's some like drama on the campus, right? Like, and then we get to see like Kid Omni Man show up, you know?
Yes,
That's like
yes,
a one
based.
like a 1 in a million chance that something would happen on that campus specifically.
Well, it already did happen. You know, it just hasn't happened
Exactly,
again.
Yeah, well, I
exactly.
mean, thunder doesn't strike the same place twice, right?
Well,
Thunder
Dark
doesn't
lightning
maybe
strike
away.
anywhere.
maybe Rick, you know, will have some drama happen. You know, Donald will come back. You know, I'm sure they can write it in a certain way to where we can have stuff happen on the campus. You know.
Come on, come
Maybe
on.
they
So
find out Adam
you're
Eve's
swaying
identity and they
swaying the
track him to the
answer with
campus.
something that could potentially happen.
I'm just trying
It's
to. We're trying to describe the show to you.
Yeah,
The
again,
neutral answer.
anything would be better. than Mark right now.
I,
Okay.
I feel like yes, that's true, but he gets connections. He might be the main character, you might not like him, but he's involved with cooler, better characters
All right.
like Alan.
Counterpoint. Uh, all of Mark's parts, like Mark dies, and then all the parts that would be devoted to Mark are devoted to Amber. So we still get Nolan and Alan and all that shit. Um, and we still get Teen Team or whatever the fuck. Are they still the Guardians after they left the Guardians, or are they
Well,
Teen Team again?
I want to say
no,
this.
there's Guardians, and then there's their team, which I don't think has a name yet.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
their
they're not gonna
team
go
should be
back to
called the fucking gay losers who suck and are terrible at everything. Plus, also, Robot is there, and I love him.
Well, yeah, robot. The only reason he left is for the girl.
I
Yeah,
completely forgot that Rex had a power with this most recent episode. He just didn't really do much season 2.
yeah, yeah. The coolest thing he did in season 2 was fucking die. It really pissed me off that nobody died in that. That was so fucking stupid. That was so
Well, like
dumb.
they really all should have died. They were all on
Yeah,
the edge of dying. And Kate technically did quote unquote die, but not really because they just brought her back later.
they should have perma killed Kate, perma killed Shrinking Ray, and maybe brought back Rex. You
You know,
know,
it's funny. I was watching the trailer for season 3 and I saw multipole and I was like, man, is what happened to Kate? I was like like that's so weird.
they transed Kate. No. They de-wokeified Kate. They made Kate less political. They made him a man instead.
I
Fuck
was like,
yeah.
I was like, what happened to Kate? That's so like because like that's like the only clip that I saw from season 3 before.
That's Shang-Chi, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Simu Liu. Yeah, that's Shang-Chi. That's him.
Interesting.
All right. I have another one. Um,
Okay, last one, last one.
they go back. They retroactively they kill duplicate off permanently, but retroactively, she was voiced by Aquafina the whole time.
No. The thing is, like, almost every movie with Aquafina, I just don't know what it is about her. There's just something about her I just don't like.
Yeah, it's her voice and her personality.
That's probably it. Yeah, but there
Her
have
entire
been
existence.
there's been like one or two, I think, instances where it's not the worst, but
She
most
made
like
that movie in where she like goes to China and she says goodbye to her grandma. That's a good movie. Everything else she's terrible in.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I suppose I don't mind Duplicate though. She's a little annoying, but I don't think she's like the worst person in the show.
I mean, I hate everyone who isn't Robot. And even then, they made Robot a simp, which pisses
I,
me off.
I like
I I think
Rexplode.
I think I would drop Kate. I don't really. I know Rex cheated, but I don't like the whole "I hurt you, you hurt me" thing. And over here, Kate's with Immortal now. I kind of don't really care for her.
Yeah, I don't like Immortal either. But also, he's always right when it comes to Mark. So I like him more than Mark, which means that he's a masterpiece of a character.
He's
You
got
know,
that like granddad from like a million years ago wisdom.
yeah, you know, or just like anyone with common sense would know that Mark is a fucking prick and a moron and doesn't deserve his powers. And yeah, anywho, so Immortal is actually based. So you know what? I'm keeping Duplicate because she makes the Immortal happy, and anything that makes the Immortal happy uh is good because he hates Mark. So you know what? I'll allow it. I'll
Interesting,
allow it.
interesting.
I'll kill Shrinking Ray though.
What's wrong with Ray? She's like
Somebody had to die in that fight. You
yeah, but
can't
she
bring
didn't.
back all three of them.
I know, but I feel like she hasn't even had like any like big character moments in the whole show yet.
Exactly. I hope she dies.
I feel like they're kind of trying to give her moments every now and then, but it always gets glossed glossed over by something else happening.
I think just Gray
Like,
Delisle just gets like so many different roles in this fucking show. Her and the guy who voices Immortal voice like every other fucking character. She voices every female character. He voices every male character. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. So at the end of the day, yeah, just kill Shrinking Ray. Somebody had to die in that fight. Kill her off. Yeah.
the well, like Rex did lose a hand, so like there's that's the only consequence of the fight, really.
Does it even? I didn't even remember that. Like we saw both of his hands today in the episode
No,
that we
no,
just watched.
it's a robotic hand. I remember like because he went to the lab to get his hand recalibrated because it wasn't able to stick up his middle finger, and that's his favorite finger.
That's true. It's my favorite finger too. God damn it, Rex, we have so much in
Um,
common.
yeah, based. But yeah, his new hand is the one that has like the cannon in it.
Yeah, I guess.
So he lost a hand. So that fight had consequences. Also, he got shot in the head at one point, which I don't know what that
It
did to
feels
him.
like
Really.
he got shot in the head, but Mark got all the brain damage.
Yeah, I guess. Because like after that fight, Rex he's just trying to turn his life around. He's every time he makes a sexist comment, he's like, "That was the old me."
Exactly. And I don't like that. I think he should stick to his guns. What do you think, Dylan?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. We love sexism here on this podcast, and you can quote me on that.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
whoa,
we
whoa,
love
whoa.
Rex. We love Rex's new character where he doesn't make sexist comments anymore. That's
the
what
old
we
him.
love. Yeah,
We already got the clip.
we love Rex's new unbigoted fair diverse, politically correct sensibilities. That's what we like about Rex. When you say Rex, that's what we think about. We think about how how much he loves and respects women. That's what we love about him, and that's what we love about ourselves because we do that too, right, guys? Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Don't wink at us.
Wink, wink.
Don't wink or nudge at us.
Nudge, nudge. Wink, nudge, nudge,
Nibble,
wink.
nibble.
I think that I won't speak for Dylan, I guess, but I like to think that we're not sexist without winking. You know what I mean? Just straight face, not sexist.
Dylan, are you sexist?
On occasion when it's sort of necessary.
Hell yeah. You know, hey. I think that's a good middle ground, I'd hate to be like, I'd hate to be fallacious and use the appeal to compromise fallacy, but you know what? I think that's a good compromise, and I think we can end the episode there. We want to thank you all for listening. We would like to say that we'll thank you even better if you join our Patreon. You get an extra cool shout out in both the description and at the end of every episode. But if you want an even cooler shout out and listen to the whole episode ad free instead of just the first part, you could have heard Dylan on Sunday instead of on Tuesday. Like, what? What? Why would you wait until Tuesday? Ew, gross. No. Join our $5 tier on Patreon, patreon.com/IIHS podcast, where we have a bunch of movie commentaries, including Transformers 1 and Transformers 2. I wonder what might happen if we, maybe we sit down one of these days and we all, we sit down and we watch a little movie together, a little movie about the moon and about the dark of it. I wonder what might happen. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Joined our $5 tier to find out. But yeah, you get to listen to the whole episode early and ad free. You don't get to listen to the little ads. You even get to listen to those old episodes where we had the Liquid IV sponsorship, and it's gone. It's not even there. You don't even have to listen to us talk about beating the heat with Liquid IV. They don't sponsor us anymore. They don't sponsor us anymore. Fuck that. No.
Well, they probably won't sponsor us again at this rate.
Buy Gatorade. It's cheaper. They
You see,
sell them in the
why?
big jugs.
Why do you have to just burn bridges? You know what I mean? Like this could be an opportunity for us eventually.
They didn't pay us that much. But yeah, anywho, yeah, patreon.com/IIHS podcast. Head on over there. It's pretty cool. There's a link down in the description. We are also on Teespring, and if you use the code first month, you can get 10% off all your orders. But you better hurry up, use it soon, because it stops being it stops being a thing on February 22nd. You gotta watch out there. Yeah, watch out. You only got a couple days left, so make sure you get your orders in using that code. Otherwise, you know you're gonna have to wait till our next discount. So definitely, yeah, go check that out. We got a bunch of cool designs. We're working on some other ones. I've got a couple ideas, percolating around in the old noggin, and yeah, so stay tuned. We head on over to Teespring. Check that out. If you want to follow us on social media, we are at IIHS Podcast on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. We try to have all these episodes up the same day on YouTube, but sometimes we don't, and you just have to accept that. Okay. Love you. Anywho, um, I think that's it. My name is Kale. I've been incredibly influential.
My name's Danny, and I'm highly successful.
And hey, I'm Dylan. I was our special guest.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.